In this tutorial series, I'm going to show you how to make a game in Sandbox with no experience. I'm going to give a quick introduction of what Sandbox is and why I think it's a serious competitor to the big established game engines like Unity, Unreal, and Godot, and then we're going to jump right into it and as quickly as possible get you up and running in the editor and moving around and making things happen. There are some more complicated topics that I'm going to kind of glaze over, but that's just because the purpose is to get you up and running and changing things as quickly as possible. I will go into more detail on the editor, how to do things, how to code in future tutorials. So Sandbox is a new game engine from the creators of Garry's Mod and Rust, and it has some very important key features that I think make it a serious contender. Now, a lot of people think of Sandbox as an alternative to, say, Roblox, but it's so much more than that. It does have the benefit of being able to load directly into games if you're playing it just like Roblox. However, I think of it as a more serious engine akin to Unity without the problems that Unity has. And here's why. So it has a fully featured editor just like Unity, with batteries included, everything that you need to make a game. It uses C#, so it's performant, and unlike Unity, it's open source. It only costs $20, and not only can you publish your games on their platform for quick feedback from players, but you can also export your game and publish it directly on Steam with no royalty fees, and that's a really big deal. Another huge feature is that it comes with multiplayer built right into the engine, and it also supports hot reloading. Now, I've been a programmer for 15 years, and when I tell you that the iteration time between making changes in code and seeing those changes reflected in the editor is really, really significant. The longer you have to wait, the slower your development timeline is going to be. And when you're working on something for months or years, a long wait time between making code changes and seeing them reflected in the editor really, really stacks up. So there's a lot more to explore that Sandbox has to offer, and I'm going to leave all the links that you'll need in the description. Quick background on me, I'm Joe, and I'm a full-time indie game developer. I've made Spellmasons, which has over 1,000 positive reviews, and my next game, Some of You May Die, is coming out soon. Both of these were made in my own game engine, but I do have experience in Unity, Unreal, and Godot. So let's get into it. So to get started, find Sandbox on Steam and purchase it, then go to Steam, search for it in your library, and launch it.
There we go. That is actually crazy. Okay. Can you play the greatest mod in the world anthem? Yeah. Send it over. This is producer's anthem, guys.
This is the greatest mod in the world. This is the greatest mod in the world. Because it's Alpha 1 and not Alpha 3. We even got old style trees. We're making the greatest mod in the world. We're making the greatest mod in the world. What is it? It's the Bat Path Lord. It's the devil, dude. And then you're in a coma too. I really want to remake an alpha, but I just don't know the steps. That's okay. I have them for ya. Step 1, to recreate. You don't have unique ideas. Like H1AR? That's great. You could put lamps all over the floor. Step 2, to make it great. Yeah? Hey, Tiny Build and everything they make. Wait! What about making a spike game? Oh. I'm looking at you, Creech Corruption. We'll be saying the neighbor, and our mod is the best. When in reality, he acts like he just ate regressed. With bad remakes just aren't enough. 1.5 pre-alpha, let's keep remaking them. How about prototype? That's what they want. Well, whatever we do, we'll still make it. This is the greatest mod in the world. This is the greatest mod in the world. With Owen Campo's template that I imported, I'll never have to put effort in. Making the greatest mod in the world. Making the greatest mod in the world. 1,000 remakes made and you still think you're the best. Next you'll tell me your keybinds F. Good morning.
Good morning. That was great.
So here in the docs, what it recommends is exploring Testbed, which is basically a game that shows you everything that Sandbox is capable of.
I actually thought the dude in the glasses with the hat on looked like a nostalgia critic. That gave me a lot of nostalgia.
So if you search for Testbed and then click on this one right here, weirdly there are multiple games called Testbed. You can tell this is the one you want because the number of times it's been liked and favorited. And then just click New Game. So Testbed will allow you to explore what the engine has to offer right now. Here we can see we have a bunch of different scenes, so let's jump right into physics and then go into joints. So this shows you a bunch of different joints that come. I noticed that once the initial game loads, the load times are rather fast.
Music? Yeah, I'll throw on some calm background music for sure.
So now let's get into the actual code of things and get into the editor. And now in Steam,
I love a little background noise. I'm very ADHD.
Want to open up the Sandbox editor, and let's download Testbed so that we can actually change the code and experiment with things. So there's a link right here in GitHub. Git is a version control software that's used to manage changes in code over time, so that if you do something that you don't like, you can revert back to a previous version.
I'm gonna go ahead and get GitHub. He did not link it.
Where the thing wasn't broken. Git is its own entire thing to learn, and there are plenty of awesome tutorials online, but if you don't want to get into that right now, you can just download the Testbed files as a zip file. So you can go into code, download zip. So you'll need an IDE, or integrated development environment, in order to write code and change things.
This is nice, bro.
Code. There's also Visual Studio itself, and there's many more. I'll leave links in the description for where you can download and install those. Studio Code, there's also Visual Studio itself, and there's many more. I'll leave links in the description for where you can download and install those.
What, the code? So there I was, speechless, alone, afraid but determined. I knew I would get out if I had the last sip of the parking the parking lot corn dog grease. What happened next, you will have to find out on the next X. Bro, somebody get that guy a fucking water. He is drunk as fuck. Windows protecting my PC. Don't worry, buddy. I gotta add my mic to each scene of my OBS, bro. I'm terrible. Yeah. The knowledge drop. All right, there we go. Big Apollo with that knowledge drop. All right. Been trying to tell you. Yeah, send it on over, big dog. Oh, I don't have GitHub set up. Sheesh. That first one was great, bro. I completely believe you. All right. I'm gonna set up a GitHub account real quick. And you gotta use Steph Boyardee with an I. Yo, dude. Cool. Perfect. Ooh. I like the solarized dart, but we're gonna do high contrast dart. Started. Bro, looking like Albert Einstein had his
Once we start
sister.
up Visual Studio Code,
Get him
I'm
out of
going to
here.
go into Open folder.
I'm getting my bifocals right now. Whoa, hold up. Hold up, brother.
The testbed files as a zip file. But if you don't soft the actual code of things and get into the editor. And now in Steam, you'll want to open up the SNBox editor, and let's download testbed so that we can actually change the code and experiment with things. So there's a link right here in GitHub. Git is a version control software that's used to manage changes in code over time, so that if you do something that you don't like, you can revert back to a previous version where the thing wasn't broken. Git is its own entire thing to learn, and there are plenty of awesome tutorials online. But if you don't want to get into that right now, you can just download the testbed files as a zip file. So you can go into code.
Alright. Alright. He's actually got me. I'm gonna go to sleep on this rock. This is my rock. Get that guy a fucking nap. GitHub. Alright. We're about face punch / SBot dash team staging. Okay. I'm assuming I'm in the same spot.
Download zip.
I know that guy. Master Chef. Hear me out on Master Chief. Yo, dude, it's looking like it's gonna take a fat minute. Perhaps. I need that back. Oh. Need that background music back. .7-zip should be used to extract the file. I have WinRAR. I definitely need 7-zip though. Alright. I'm about to download 7-zip. Oh no. You think it's better than what I can teach you how to install 7-zip? I think I got it. Hold up. Alright, I'm gonna let you know in about 10 seconds. Alright, 7-zip's installed. Well, maybe 7-zip's not installed. Maybe the installer is installed. Oh no, it was already installed. Yeah, I'm foolish. Alright. See here. I'm using 64-bit.
So you'll need an IDE or integrated device. So you can go into code, download zip. So you'll need an IDE.
So sandbox editor. Documentation. Nope, wrong.
Or integrated development environment in order to write code and change things. I like Visual Studio Code. There's also Visual Studio itself, and there's many more.
Open file. Hope I did that right. I did not even see what day said. Why I got retracted. If you ever need to boost yourself up when you feel like you can't make the mod, play the greatest mod. You're so cheerful. But wise. But wise. He said, "Hey, guy." That's all he fucking said, bro. Damn. All right, that did not work.
I'll leave links in the description for where you.
I didn't do something right. Oh, open folder? Maybe. Alright. Way better background music, but... And now, people music. Go in here. Let me... Alright. New folder. SBox files. Extract here. Human music. Alright, let's see if that even works. We might be picking something, finally. Oh. Is it working? I think it's working. He's got his a little bit different. Open editors. Yeah, his really way different. I don't know if he's on the website or what. I'm out of here. You have a great night, man.
You can download and install those. Once we start up Visual Studio Code, I'm going to go into Open Folder.
Open folder. In staging.
And open it. Okay, so now... Now we are in the testbed project and we can run it in the editor itself. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we launched the SNBox editor, not SNBox itself, the editor via Steam. And when that's open, we're going to go into add project from folder. I'm going to navigate to that directory. And then I'm just going
to... new project. Works for me. All right, we might be onto something. It's crazy that we're struggling to learn how to get it open. That's all part of the problem. Progress. Bootstrapping, let's go. We're doing something. Strapping up some boots for sure. In the very least. Okay. I just like my shit, so I think it's really putting in that work right now. Hope I did that right. Oh, it's still working actually. I'm sure it's just gonna take a minute. I hope. Come on, man. Oh, I just saw like a crying face. Yeah, there we go. Loading. Let's go. This young man's putting me on right now. He's probably older than me. This unc's putting me on right now. Saw that, bro. You ain't sneaky. You ain't a beaver. Compiling assets. We gotta be right there. That loading bar is really far. Interactive guide. Okay. Next. This is the main viewport. Your view into the current scene. Here you can manipulate the game objects in the scene to build whatever you want. Cool. Here you can search through and organize all the objects in the scene. This is the inspector when I make a movie. Okay. My life's a movie. You can show you the properties of the game object. C+. Okay. This is the asset browser. This is the cloud browser. Okay. I can spend money on assets. I want to name the second movie title The Sequel Dequel. Oh yeah, now we're speaking. When you're ready to test things out in game, click the play button to enter play mode. Okay. Then once your game is complete and ready for the world, you can come here to configure your project settings and prepare for publishing. That is sick. Okay, I didn't mess around with anything, but nice to know that I am in there. Like underwear, dude. Let's go. Okay.
Click the Sandbox project file and open. And here it is, testbed. So let's click on it and launch it.
Oh, I messed up. Oh, I don't think I did that right. Here we go. Scenes. Maybe. Isn't that right? Sandbox. My favorite Gatorade is the red one because it was the only one that didn't taste different when I was sick, and it did a bit to save me from my sickness. It's probably that hydration you really needed, man. Probably hooked you up with some hydration. You probably did really need it.
Okay, now we have our editor open, and it's very similar to Unity if you're familiar with that. It starts with a welcome tutorial. Now that we're going to go into add project from folder. I'm going to navigate to that directory, And then
I did it wrong. See here, downloads, sandbox files. I think I downloaded. I think I downloaded testbed, right? Yeah, let me peep that. He's in GitHub. He's in like Git. Hmm.
I'm just going to click the sandbox project file and open. And here it is, testbed. So let's click on it and launch it. Okay, now
Pretty sure I did get testbed right. Oh, that's sick. I need to get like that. Man, dude, I need to get like that. There we go. I definitely don't think I saved sandbox, right?
now, so that if you do something that you don't like, you can just write code and change things. I like Visual Studio Code. There's also an install code and open it. Okay, so and open it. Okay, so now we are in the testbed project and we can run it in the editor itself. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we launched the SNBox editor, not SNBox itself, the editor via Steam. And when that's open, we're going to go into add project from folder. I'm going to navigate to that directory. And then I'm just going to click the sandbox project file and open. And here it is, testbed. So let's click on it and launch it. Okay, now we have our editor open and it's very similar to Unity if you're familiar with that. It starts with a welcome tutorial. I recommend going through this if you're not familiar with these kinds of editors. So we want to get into testbed from within the editor, and clicking play will do nothing right now because we don't have a scene selected. And scenes are like levels in a video game. So we're going to go in the asset browser and choose assets, scenes, tests, and then double click on menu.scene. And now if we click play, we're back in the test bed. and we can click on any one of these, and this is actually taking us to another scene. We could just boot right into a scene.
Thank you. I'm gonna need
Here
it.
we are.
You have a great night.
Now we're in the test bed, except we're in the editor. So if you press escape, it goes back out to the menu browser. So what happens if I want to use my mouse in the editor? I can simply Alt-Tab, and then here I am in the inspector, where I can move things around and interact with things. So for example, I can select the citizen, which is this guy right here, and I can go and I can change things like his local position. So I can make him float like this. And this is just the basics of editing things in the inspector. So now let's change some code. I want to show you how the hot reloading works, because this is one of the killer features of this engine. So if I go into the platforms scene, I'm going to bring up my editor here. What we want to change is something about the code itself. So I'm going to go find this sliding platform that I can stand on. So I'm going to go under platforms. The thing wasn't broken. Git is its own entire thing to learn, and there are plenty of awesome tutorials online. But if you don't want to get into that right now, you can just download the testbed files as a zip file. So you can go into code, download zip. So you'll need an IDE, or integrated development environment, in order to write.
Bro.
Wasn't broken. Git is its own entire thing to learn, and there are plenty of awesome tutorials online. But if you don't want to get into that right now, you can just download the testbed files as a zip file. So you can go into code, download zip. So you'll need an IDE, or integrated development environment, in order to write code and change things. I like Visual Studio Code. There's also Visual Studio itself, and there's many more. I'll leave links in the description for where you can download and install those. Once we start up Visual Studio Code, I'm going to go into Open Folder and open it. Okay, so now
It's sad that I'm genuinely this fucking lost and I haven't even started.
Now we are in. I'm going to go into Open Folder and open it. Okay, so now we are in the testbed project, and we can run it in the editor itself. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we launched the SNBox editor, not SNBox itself, the editor via Steam. And when that's open, we're going to go into Add Project from Folder. I'm going to navigate to that directory, and then I'm just going to click the sandbox project file and open. And here it is, testbed. So let's click on it and launch it. Okay, now we have our editor open, and it's very similar to Unity if you're familiar with that. It starts with a welcome tutorial. I recommend going through this if you're not familiar with these kinds of editors. So we want to get into testbed from within the editor, and clicking play will do nothing right now because we don't have a scene selected. And scenes are like levels in a video game. So we're going to go in the asset browser and choose asset. All right, so let's go over the Sandbox editor. We're going to click New Project, and we can leave these as they are. Let's start with Game Minimal, and click Create. Okay, now that we're in the editor, let's talk about the camera. So if you hold down middle mouse button, you can pan and move your inspector camera around. If you hold down Alt and left mouse button, you can rotate.
Oh man, it's gonna take a fucking minute to load that shit again.
If you hold down right mouse button, you can look around, almost like first person. If you use mouse wheel in and out, you can zoom in and out. And if you hold Alt and right click and move up and down, you can zoom slowly. Another important thing is that when you press play, you lose your mouse and you are now looking through the game camera. So we can press escape to go into this pause menu and stop. So first things first, I like to click this layout button and click 2 horizontal. And now this one is locked to a top-down perspective. I like to click this button and change the view to 3D. So now I have 2 3D views. You can see there's my light source and my camera. And when I click play, this left one goes into the camera view, but the right one can still see what's going on. Okay? So let's add a game object. Over here is our hierarchy, and this is the scene, which is like the level.
Alright, he's kind of just playing around with it. Okay.
All game objects. We can press escape to go into this pause menu and stop. So first things first, I like to click this layout button and click 2 horizontal. And now this one is locked to a top-down perspective. I like to click this button and change the view to 3D. So now I have 2 3D views. You can see there's my light source and my camera. And when I click play, this left one goes into the camera view, but the right one can still see what's going on. Okay? So let's add a game object. Over here is our hierarchy, and this is the scene, which is like the level. All game objects that exist inside of the scene. So we can click on the main camera, and it'll show us a preview of what the camera's looking at, and we can move it around. Same thing with the light. So if I right click here, click create 3D object cube, we bring a cube into the world. Let's move the cube to a more sensible location. So if we select the cube, you can see we have this gizmo where we can move it around along its axes.
Cool. Pretty object. Cube. Put him over there behind the light. Cool. Yeah, I did not mean that.
And over here in the inspector, we have all of the properties of the cube. So in three-dimensional space, we have an x coordinate, a y coordinate, and a z.
Oh yeah, I'm changing the color right now. Cool cube.
Coordinate. I'm going to zero all of these out so that the cube goes to origin. The x is the red, and we can move it here, or we can set it here, -20, or we can click on this x and drag our mouse back and forth, like that. The y moves along the green axis, and then the z moves along the blue axis. And then we have the same thing for rotation and scale. For example, we can scale it. Now you'll notice this is scaling in the object's local y. Now that I've rotated it, the local y is pointing in this direction. It's not the same as the global y. So I'm going to zero these back out. And now let's do something fun. So I want to make this cube drop. You can see that when I click play, nothing happens. The cube just stays there. So in order to make the cube reactive, we need a rigid body, which controls the physics of the game object. And we need
a rigid body controls the physics. Add component. Physics? Rigid body. How do I? Okay, I'm trying to lift this bad boy up right now. Yeah. Oh, it's just further down. Oh, I see. I think Y is the one that would lift it, right? No. Z. Yep. Cool. Let's see if it just drops when I hit play. Oh, the gravity was not strong enough. Oh. Well, I guess I should just learn a little something.
the box collider.
Oh. Okay.
The collider is
So
the
he gave it a
shape
rigid
of the
body.
object that's in the actual game as opposed to the model render. The shape of the object.
He gave it a rigid
The
body.
collider is the shape of the object that's in the actual game as opposed to the
Collider. Am I missing that?
model renderer. So you can see this green cube. This is the collider, and this
Oh.
is what the game sees. And
Eight. Did he add collider? Effects. I'm genuinely not seeing collider. It's not sleeping. He must have added collider box. Physics Collider.
What it interacts with in a physics sense, whereas the model renderer is just a skin. The models can be really complicated. It could be a car with smooth edges or a person, and it's way too expensive for physics to act on things that are as intricate as like a person's hand. And so you have these colliders. And now I can actually customize the collider. I can extend the collider beyond the box. You can see it growing there when I move this. Okay, so let's add a plane so that this cube has something to fall into. So I'm going to add the plane at origin, and I'm going to add a rigid body to it, and I'm going.
Fair enough. Man wants to add a plane. Plane. I think that's a below it. Yeah, it should be. Be in that area?
Going to add a plane collider. And you'll notice that the collider.
And then on the plane. Add component. Effects. Nope. Yo, yeah, something like that. I'm literally just learning the ins and outs, and it is not looking good for me. I actually made it somewhere finally, though. My dumbass can't remember where fucking Collider is. Effects. Physics Collider. Well, more of a. Yeah, let me actually just move component, add component, physics, plane collider. What did he do? Okay, he gave it a rigid body, of course. That makes it interactable. My dumb man. Physics. Rigid body. Collider plane. There we go.
The plane collider is actually smaller than the plane itself, which is something that's important because remember, the objects are actually only interacting with the colliders. I'm going to increase the scale of this plane, and then if we press play, you can see that the cube falls and collides with the.
Okay, I didn't make it. Hold up. Okay, it falls through the fucking ground. I did not add the collision well. Oh, the collision's smaller. Size. I want it to like be the entire thing. Let me change the gravity on the cube because I have it really high. Oh, 2 is double gravity, so 1 should be fine. Oh, it worked! Let's go. It just I sent it with so much gravity, it just fucking went through the plane. I see now. I had to turn that gravity down because it was way too up. Bet.
The plane. Okay, so now let's add some interactivity. So over here in the inspector, everything that you're looking at is a component on the game object. The renderer is a component, the rigid body and the collider, and components are what bring behaviors to game objects. So we can click add component and type, let's do my script. We're gonna click new single component.
Okay. Add component. My script. Wait a minute. New component. My script. Actually, what?
Let's do my script. We're gonna click new single component.
New single component. My script. New single component. Okay, it looks like it's CS, like code script or something.
And then we're gonna save it. And now that's automatically gonna open Visual Studio.
Oh, okay, save. That's gonna open Visual Studio. Let's go. W. And it sure did too. Oh, and this is where the coding comes in. Oh shit, it's about to get
Studio for us.
difficult.
And now here we have the code that is the component. And if you go to the docs and you go to gameplay and input, it'll explain how input works. It'll give a very simple example. So we're just going to copy this and we're going to place it inside of the component.
Was he under?
So we're just going to copy this.
Or if fix input. He goes gameplay clutter or something. Okay. This website sucks for me. It just must be open in his Visual Studio that he's got on his internet. He's got it like as a browser extension. This shit just ain't working for me. I really don't want to. There we go. Why is it? I don't. Let's go. It's working now. Good enough. All right. Gameplay, input. Wrong fit. Oh, he didn't click anything yet. Just under input for him. Oh. He does not.
And we're going to place it inside of the component. And
cool. That is gonna take some damn getting used to.
We save, and then you see that pop-up right there? That meant that the game hot reloaded. So even if the game is running, we can change things in that component and it will hot reload. So I'm pressing spacebar, which is assigned to jump. If you want to reassign keybinds, you can go press escape, go into settings, go into keybinds, and you can see that jump is assigned to spacebar, for example, but nothing's happening. Why is that? Okay, well, let's go back to Visual Studio. So what it's doing is it's saying the world position plus equals. This means we're adding something and assigning it to world position, and world position is governed by the transform. Vector 3.forward is a direction. It's the cube's forward direction times time.delta. Time.delta is how much time has passed since the last on update. If you saw my last video, on update is running in the game loop, kind of like a motion picture that displays picture after picture after picture. This code is executing between all of the pictures. So time.delta is a really small number because this game is running really fast, and so it's not moving it very much. So I'm going to change this to vector3.up because I want it to move up instead of forward, and then let's set it to 1000. And
I wonder if capital is like important. Any times it by 1000. Get rid of time delta.
save that.
He does not.
And here it, oh, look at that, and now it's moving. Okay, so
Oh, we can jump! Hallie, look! Come here! Alright, you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold up. I made it jump, but I didn't make it where he can get back now. But look.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Ah! Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the game development thing. And you said you don't like the blue cube. You wish it was purple instead. I can't really do anything cool yet, but hey, I will get there. This is cool in itself to me. Gee, that's so cool.
Hold the button.
I'll just keep going. We'll never see him again. Oh, there it is. The gravity quit working on it for some reason.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Love you.
I love you.
Oh.
Alright. Oh, this is cool.
let's say 1000 was a little bit too much, and let's back that down to 100. Save that.
Oh, now it's too slow. This is cool as shit, though.
And now I can't see what's happening because the cube is too high. So I'm gonna move my camera back and let's move it up. And then we resume and
How does he grab it? Shift? Yeah, shift. Wait a minute, I just make 2 cameras? That's not what I was trying to do. I sure did. I don't want 2 cameras. Wait. I've made 2 cubes now. It's... Is the main camera just attached to the cube? What the fuck? Why is it attached to the cube? Cool. I'm learning now. So I would think you know what? We're making stuff happen.
Look at that, when I hold spacebar, it's moving up. Now, an important thing, just like Unity, is that any changes I make while the game is running are lost. You can see that the cube is back to where it was, the camera is back to where it was. So if you want to change something permanently, you need to do it while the game is not running, and then you want to save your scene. So I'm just going to go ahead and save my scene now because it wasn't saved. Now what if we want the camera to follow the box? Well, what we have to do is we have to parent the camera to the cube, so we're making the camera a child of the cube. This is how the hierarchy works. When I move the box around now, it's going to move all of its children with it. Okay?
Oh.
So I can still move the camera, like say I want some kind of angle on it.
It's a good starting point.